Welcome to the weekly show of where we chart out our weekly plays and potential setups. Some will be immediate and some will be longer term, and some are potential setups. We're starting on Best Buy right now, and if we're looking at the chart, it's starting to make new highs coming off a new low. We did kind of break the pattern here. If you look, we had a high, and then we started getting a lower high right here. And we went from a higher low to a brand new low. So we broke out of this little structure here, and we fell all the way down. If you guys remember, we saw below 100 a couple times, which formed kind of a new resistance. So we kind of have a new support. We have a new support right here around the $99 mark. We kind of bounced off that. We made a brand new high and a new channel. Now here's the problem with this setup right now. It just made a higher low. Normally this indication right here is where I'd be looking to enter. I'd be looking to enter right below the Kaiju Sen, which is sitting at 108.32 right now. So I'm looking at that thinking, okay, maybe I can get a potential bounce all the way back down towards the resistance of about $100, maybe even 102, 101, something like that. So looking for put options. The problem is it just made a new high, so I'm not going to directly enter this come Monday, even though my indicators are telling me, hey, this is a setup. My new filter system that I use, and I will be talking about this in a different video, is I don't take a short position off of a brand new high. Now, if I would have taken it here off a lower high, coming off a higher high. So right now we have a new high. I'm looking to see if this will continue, break the Kaiju Sen, and continue downward. And then I will look to enter, but only if it continues below the Kaiju Sen for the next couple days. If it doesn't, or if it does even break that and it starts climbing back up, that will tell me we have a new trend coming in, and I can start charting that out and looking for maybe retracing up to the highs here of about 115. So that's the Best Buy setup right now. It's a potential play. It's not an immediate play. It's something that we're going to be watching. Now on to Blink. Blink is, look at this chart. Blink is coming in super strong. Obviously it's hyped up. It's in the EV space. It's in the power sector. We're looking at just a full-blown megaphone right now. We're looking at this chart thinking, okay, it's going to continue. Well, it might. It also might break down. Here's the situation again. What we have is my indicators telling me this is an entry. But again, we have a higher high, so it's not an immediate entry. We gotta wait. I'm looking to see if we can break below this towards the $46, mid $46 mark before I take an entry short, because that would break the channel. So we're always looking for filters on our plays. Yes, our indicators are saying, hey, this is a setup, this is a play, you should take it, blah, blah, blah. But we always filter those setups. We always filter our way through, making sure that we have a correct play, a correct, we're risking our money. We don't want to take anything that is subjective. We want to be as objective as possible. So we have a higher high, not going short yet unless it breaks the channel. Breaks the channel, I'll go short. But if it bounces off this and starts going up, we're going to look to make new higher highs towards the $67, $70 mark. So if it can stay in this channel, we'll be going long. Again, not an immediate play, but a potential setup. Now on a Dropbox. Dropbox is, we have an inverse head and shoulders, and we also have kind of a breakdown of it, but we'll see if come Monday we can reclaim a new high. So kind of the same situation as the last one. A little bit better setup for a long position, honestly, long term, to make a new high. We saw, let's see, this one was at $24.93, so there's kind of like a resistance mark around the $25. Like if it breaks $25, we can see something big. It kind of did something similar here, where it built out, made new highs, and then kind of fizzled down. We're hoping that doesn't happen here. If it does, we'll be ready for a short entry. Again, indicators telling me, hey, this is a good time to short entry. But again, we made a new high, so we're not going to go short. We're going to see what happens. If it fails down below this resistance here, or below this support here at about 2178, I would be comfortable entering short if it breaks that. But if it bounces off that, or even starts bouncing Monday, Tuesday upward, we're going to be looking at new highs, trying to retrace and get back up to that $24.96, $25 mark. And then we can go extra long. We can add to positions if it breaks that. DQ is another situation where, yep, we're getting this. There are a couple indicators saying, hey, this is setting up to go short. We're not quite below the Kaiju Sen, so we're kind of 2 for 3 on our indicators. And again, we have a higher high, and we're in a channel, right? We have this channel forming, going steep upwards. It's a good channel, and we're looking to see if we can get some bounces off this and keep making new highs. So what we're going to do, instead of going short, now you could potentially take this short and look for a bounce in the 82 area. You could do that. I wouldn't suggest, that'd be a lotto. I would call that a lotto. I'd say, okay, yeah, you could play that downwards momentum towards the support here in this channel. You could play that. And it might be an option if you're into that, day trading, something like that. Unless you're, if you're doing swings, I would say just wait. Because if it bounces off this, we could see new highs up towards the 110, 115 mark, breaking out over this 109.53 mark. So be aware of that. You can play this down. I might take a put position around, let's see. If it breaks out of this channel, we could see potential shorts coming in. Let's check the short volume on this, because that will tell us, that will give us a better indication of what's going on here. Yeah, see, short volume is only at 34%, so everything else is telling me this isn't going to be a squeeze high. This is going to be a nice channel ride. This is going to be more based off indicators rather than momentum plays. The last time we got over 50% was on January 22nd. Let's see right here. And it did push higher. We saw a nice little squeeze and a nice little pop up to 109, but it came obviously back down to 100 in the same day. So let's just be aware of that. If we do see the short volume go up, we'll report on that. And if it gets above 50%, then we can maybe see a squeeze. But right now, we're just going to focus on the channel. If it breaks the channel, we'll go short. If it continues upward, we'll be looking for new highs. DT. Dynatrace Inc. This is a company I actually like. Their chart is kind of predictable in some cases, depending on how you play and swing. We are obviously looking at the one-day chart here for swing plays and options. So what we have here is a higher high. And our indicator actually triggered, triggered on the 26th to go short. But I wouldn't have taken that because we have a higher high. What I would have looked for is a recent support area. So the support area was right here. Would have drawn a line and said, okay, let's take an entry off of the support. If it bounces, boom, it bounced. Now it's coming back down. So we're going to see if you can get another bounce off of that, or if it's going to break that. If it breaks that support, then obviously that's our short entry. If it bounces off that again, I'm going to be looking for something around the retracement of the Kaiju Sen up to $43, and then maybe even retesting the highs at 47. This has a history of popping up new highs and really gapping down and making a new high and then gapping down and then making a new high and then gapping down. So what we're looking at here is multiple areas of support. Okay, right here, we have one right here, and then we also have areas of resistance up here and through here. So there's a lot of potential plays here, a lot of potential things that could happen. If we see a bounce here, we could retrace up to 45. If we break down there, we could see a retracement down to 36. So just be aware of that. Let's watch and see what happens this week, and be ready to go short or long on this one. Obviously, we just made a new high. So we're looking for it to continue in an uptrend, but you never know. All right, eBay. eBay is one that I have. It's bittersweet. I've sold too early. I sold a long position. Excuse me, a long position right around here, $53, and I saw it pop all the way up to 60, and I was disappointed. So that's happened a few times. I think I sold around $54 last time. It went up again to $60. So what we're doing here is kind of similar to what I said before. So we don't have any indicating indicators telling us to go short, but we did just make a new high. So we obviously want to see some kind of pullback. Off this pullback, I'm thinking it's going to be around this level here. If we look, the reason I'm picking this level is because of the retracement in prior weeks. So we look here, and if we go back, we even get it around here and right here. So let's even just draw this all the way across, right? Okay. So if we retrace and kind of bop off the $54 mark, again, I wouldn't suggest playing this down to $54 because we could see actually it just bouncing up the Kaiju Sen and going upwards from here, making new highs. I like eBay long term. I think their earnings are going to crush it. I could be wrong, but I think they're going to crush it. I think across the board, e-commerce stuff has been up. eBay's a hub for a lot of people selling during the pandemic and all this stuff. And their short volume. Let's take a look at the short volume. I know you guys can't see it on the screen, but I'm going to let you know what it is. So the short volume is actually high. So it's 66% right now on the last 2 days. Okay, so on January 27th, it was super low. We have 67% on January 28th, and then on the 29th, we have 66%. I think we're going to see a squeeze high. So I'm long on eBay. I think we're going to see a squeeze above the recent high of 59. I think we're going to see above 60, 61, $62 in the coming few days, up to earnings. And then obviously we don't hold through earnings. We don't play that kind of lotto game. So watch for the next couple days, Monday and Tuesday, to kind of squeeze up and see what happens. And then after earnings, we could see it fall. We could see it correct, or we could see it continue to make new highs. So I really like the channel that it's in, and I like the short interest. I like the potential of eBay going long here. I could be wrong, but that's what I like. I'm going to skip through some of these. ENSV, these are ones that I like to watch just because look at this. They have just potential of just peak. So we just had a higher high. We gapped all the way down from, let's see, we even touched almost $3 and went back down to $2. Now, I don't take short entries on stocks under $10 usually because I use cash accounts mainly, and I'm not looking to actually short the stock. I'm looking to take puts, and obviously we play options here for the most part. Sometimes we do equities and commons, but so what I'm looking at here is just monitor it. If it bounces off this support here, which is about $1.90, and starts making its way up, we could see another pop up to $3, which would be a fun little commons play. But we could also see just retracements all the way back down to $1.50. You never know. This obviously is a super volatile. I mean, look at this bar. What are these bars? It's a volatile stock. So I'm not going to go deep into this one by any means. It's just one that I'm watching. ALBO Systems. ALBO Systems, again, is one of those predictable kind of movements. And once it starts making new highs, we can obviously say, okay, we're in a new channel. It's predictable. It doesn't have any massive spikes like the low common stocks of ENSV or anything like that. What we have going on right now is we just made a new high. We did get a short entry here, and this is why I don't take short entries usually off of new highs, because even though my indicator, 2 out of the 3 indicators told me, hey, this is possible short entry, look what happened. We went back up. So now what I'm looking for is a continuation of making new highs and coming off of the high of 140, right? So we're sitting at 135. I'd like to see a new high upwards of 143, 144, 145 and stay in this channel. Will we get that? I don't know. I think that we will. I think we're going to continue in this channel. This is one of those companies and stocks that just kind of does that. They really form nice channels, and they do have moments of despair coming off lows and stuff. But look back at the previous weeks. This is just, it's predictable stuff. So what I'm looking for here is we have a pullback. I'm looking to continue in this trend. Will it happen? I don't know. We'll see. Well, this one's on watch. Now here's a more immediate play. I would take a short position even though we're coming off a high. The reason is we just had a lower low. And I think we can retrace back down towards that $245 or $247 mark. Now this would be a 1 to 2 day hold. This would not be a swing low, because we have good support around this area multiple times, even just below it. You know, the 207 and the 230 marks. I think what we're going to see is a bounce off of this support again at some point and then continue upward. So I would play it down to support. It's more of a lotto. It's below the Kaiju Sen. The volume's good. It's above the dead zone. The SSL channel is telling me to take an entry. I would play this down to 245. That's a $10, $15 swing. On stocks like this that do move the way Facebook does, I am okay taking entries off highs if it makes sense. If I look at the recent pullbacks and everything and the dollar mark, so this higher high was 294 and it went all the way down to 267. So what I'm looking for now is the pullback down to the support level and then kind of play it off of that long. So what I'm hoping for is, let me see if I can get this retracement up. What I'm hoping for, is a pull down to here and then a bounce back all the way up, testing those new highs. So we'll see what happens. This one's obviously an immediate entry for short on my end. You guys can wait. I would suggest maybe waiting until it bounces off support. The support could even create a new support, a higher low. I don't know. I'm suggesting, or I'm thinking that it's going to go down another 5% and then climb all the way back up to test the new highs. Okay, FDX. FedEx. I personally can't stand this company because of the way they deliver packages and have handled their practice during the pandemic has been horrible. But we're going to look at their stock because even though you don't like a company, it doesn't mean you can't make money off of it. We have a huge retracement off a high. Huge. All the way from 303 down to 234.92. And it kind of climbed back up to 235. So there's no real immediate, I mean, it broke support right here. This is a support line. It broke support. Okay, so will we continue down? Maybe. We did create a new channel here, right? A new low. We could see a retracement kind of like right here. But the volume is so great pushing it down. And we saw what happened when it had good volume going up. We could possibly see the same thing pushing it back down. Their earnings was good. Their dividend was good. Everything was good. I think for this is kind of one of those waiting periods. I wish we would have saw this earlier. I wasn't looking at FedEx for the past week or so. Or even off this pullback and creating a new low. We're gonna watch and see if it regains the Kaiju Sen, then we can maybe see a retracement back up. There is no immediate, the resistance we have is right here. So 283, 284 ish, and then we can test the highs. We don't have any more support until down here at 128. I mean, this thing could fall. This thing could fall hard. So we're gonna look at it. We're going to see what happens. We're going to, our entry was 3 days ago. Our re-entry, I should say, was 3 days ago. So we could really see this thing fall. I don't know the short interest. Let's take a look at the short interest just to make sure where we're standing. It's only 31%, 25% before that, 26%, 30, 25%. The overall short percentage has to be 2-3%. So it's not looking like it's going to climb anytime soon. I think that we're going to see this hits some new lows and retrace up, and new lows and retrace up. We've already created a new channel, so I think this is going to go lower, but we'll watch it. I mean, 3% drop is huge in a day, so let's just keep watching this. Let's keep watching for maybe a pullback up and then a new re-entry. But really, the nice move we missed was from, let's see, 245 to 235, a nice $10 swing. We did miss that, but that doesn't mean, again, we don't have any support down here. No support down here. So we could see a real trace back. Flare systems, I think that's how you say it. This one, there's not much to say. It gapped up. It could retrace the gap. You know, a $10 movement. It's not, the Kaiju Sen's all the way down here. They have earnings soon. I wouldn't touch this. I would just say, put this into your watch list. The high over here was 59. So we could see it. We did make a higher low off a high. We could just continue seeing an uptrend here, or we could just retrace that gap. There's nothing much to say about this one other than just watch it. FSR, so Fisker. Fisker's another one of those stocks where it's kind of predictable. It does move, and it's fun to play if you can catch it. So what we have right here is we've got lower highs coming off a high. So what I'm looking for, this actually would have been an entry right here. I would have entered here long, okay? And you said, well, it dropped the next day and it dropped the next day. Yes, but look at the support. Hefty support, okay? And we had a nice volume come in on this. Nice volume bar come on this. So what I'm looking for, there's a little gap here. It kind of retraced it and went back down to a new low and a lower high. What I'm looking for is a bounce off the support and make a brand new high. Would I necessarily suggest people going long on this? No, it's more of a lotto. Obviously, we have big movements both ways with this stock. I mean, look at this bar. Look at this. This drop down here, days at a time, and then we have another big bar, another gap up, another huge bar, another big bar, and drop all the way down. So with Fisker, you have to be careful. I like to play it. I'm probably going to go long if we can open. Actually, let's just check what I did pre-market right now. So pre-market, Fisker did. Yeah, it stayed. So it didn't do anything. It stayed. It's at 1502. So what I'm looking for is going long here and waiting for. So to me, this is we have 1, 2, 3, almost 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 straight bounces off the support level. It's consolidating in a nice area. And the short interest on it might not be great. It might not be like, oh, this is going to be a huge setup or anything. Let's just see what it is. Yeah, it's 40% in a couple days. There was a 63. So it's January 22nd. We saw a nice little climb up to a lower high up to 63%. So again, I just like this long. I think I'm going to go long on immediate entry on Monday and see if we can get some plays back up to the $20 mark. So FUBO TV. This has just been wild. I mean, look at this chart. This is just wild. I know this one's on Twitter. This one is one of those stocks that has high short interest. It's all around short interest. The past couple of days hasn't been that much. It's been 30%ers, 20%ers. I don't think we're gonna get a massive squeeze off of it. What I think is what we're gonna see, you know, we have a big red candle and kind of a climb back up, and we're in the volume's green, so we're in an upward trend that could be dying out, and we could see a retest of this support right here, which is $30, or even this one right here, which is $24, or we could be on our way to making new highs. Now this is obviously kind of a rejection candle of the 50. That's an insane candle. 57 all the way down to 44 in a day. That's just nuts. So this stock is just it's volatile. It's one of those Twitter stocks that people were watching and just made a lower high, we could see a pullback back down. This could be a nice short play if we get an entry. We'll have to watch the SSL. We'll come back and look at this in the coming days. I'm going to end it on GDX today. We have so many more stocks. I'll make another video midweek looking over the rest of the stocks. But GDX, an unbelievable stock for this reason. Look at this channel I'm making. Look at this channel, this consolidation. I mean, it's a predictable stock that you can ride multiple ways. So it's in a channel right now. It just made a new low. I'm looking for a tracement back up above the Kaiju Sen of $36 so we can test the $37 mark and maybe break out, or just wait for an entry at the $37 mark to go short and test back down to $30. This is one of those things where you can wait and be patient. You can ride the channel up and down, or you can wait for a break out of the channel and play both ways. Right now we're in a downtrend, obviously, so I'm gonna probably wait and see if it can retrace back up to $37. If it breaks out of that and retests right here, 38, 39, to break out of that and go 40 and make a new high, I'm in. If it bounces off of that and starts coming down, I might look for an entry probably around the $36, $36.75 mark to go short and see if we can make a new low. All right, a lower low, because we have a low here, a lower high, and then a random high, and now we're making a new low. So it's volatile, and it's in a channel that where we can predict it a little bit. So let's see if we can get a bounce off the 37.80-ish mark, 37.71, that area, that zone, and come on back down towards the $32 mark. Alright guys, thanks for watching this. I know it was a long video. Hopefully you guys got a better idea of how I chart, my strategy, and the plays that are coming up in the next week or so. We have a ton more. If you look here on the side, we have GE, GPS, all the way down to Penn, Peloton, QCOM, real long on QCOM. I'll talk about that in the coming days. Space is another one with high short interest, good play. AT&T, T-Mobile, we have all the Vive is another $3 stock. We've got tons to look at in the coming week, tons of plays, tons of setups. So I hope you guys come back and like and subscribe to the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.